ever get that feeling? Like, you know that feeling where it's like everyone else has got their, like, purpose figured out?
Oh, yeah.
They've got it.
Totally.
And you're like, I'm still searching.
Yeah.
Well, we're doing a deep dive today on purpose and passion,
Okay.
but not exactly how you might think.
Okay.
So it's this whole idea
Yeah.
that maybe it's not about finding that thing out there, you know?
Right.
Maybe it's something more internal.
Yeah.
And we've got Sasha's article, 4 Steps to Rethink Your Purpose and Passion.
Okay.
And I'm telling you,
Yeah.
it really flips the script on the whole thing.
It really does.
In a good way.
In a good way. It's
Yeah.
not your typical, like, rah-rah, find your purpose pep talk.
Right.
Sasha really challenges that whole narrative
Yeah.
of, like, you have to go out there and find this thing,
Mm-hmm.
and really guides us towards something much more
Yeah.
internally driven.
It's funny you say that
Yeah.
because I feel like find your purpose, right? It is always framed as this external thing that you've got to, like, hunt down.
Yeah.
But what I found so fascinating about Sasha's perspective was this distinction she makes between to be and to do.
Okay.
So it's not just about, like, what's your big career goal,
Mm.
but really it's how you show up
Right.
authentically
Yeah.
every single day.
Totally. And, like, she gives these examples,
Yeah.
like, just, like, giving a genuine compliment to someone.
Oh.
Or
yeah.
even, like, dancing in the grocery store aisles.
Okay.
You know, like, just bringing your full self
Okay.
to even the smallest interactions.
Yeah.
And that is how you actually start
Okay.
embodying your purpose.
I love that
Yeah.
because it makes purpose feel so much more attainable.
Totally.
You know, it's not like this big,
Like you said,
scary
this big thing.
destination.
You practice.
Yeah, it's like, how am I showing up today?
Yeah.
So I'm curious, did she give?
Yeah.
Because that's great in theory, right? Right. But, like, does she give any concrete examples for how we can actually do that?
Yeah. She talks about, like,
Yeah.
being more conscious
Yeah.
of how you're interacting with others.
Mm.
Like, really listening when someone's talking to you.
Okay.
Engaging with them fully.
Mm-hmm.
Really being present.
Yeah.
And just letting your true self shine through.
Even in those, like,
Yeah.
mundane moments, right?
Totally. Like, even when you're
Yeah.
just, like, you know, at the grocery store or something.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Instead of, you know, waiting for these big monumental moments in life.
Yeah, totally.
It's like finding those little opportunities every day to
Yeah.
just be ourselves.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is where it gets interesting.
Okay.
So, Sasha suggests that one way to kind of tap into that
Yeah.
authenticity
Yeah.
is by reflecting on something
Yeah.
that we often take for granted,
Okay.
the meaning of our names.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Like our given names? Yeah.
Okay, what's the connection?
Well, so names, right? They often have deeper meanings, like historical connections, even just a feeling
Yeah.
associated with them.
Okay.
And Sasha shares how her name.
Mm-hmm.
So her name is actually a shorter version of Alexandra,
Okay.
which means defender of mankind.
Wow.
And she talks about how that...
Defender of mankind. That's a lot to live up to.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But she talks about how that meaning, even subconsciously,
Yeah.
influenced her from a young age. And, you know, it wasn't like she felt like she had to, you know,
Yes.
become like, you know, a
Right.
superhero or anything.
Yeah.
But it was just this underlying kind of theme.
Right. So it's like having this
Yeah.
hidden layer of
Yeah.
self-discovery
Mm-hmm.
right there in our names.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
So what other, like, unconventional wisdom did Sasha unearth in her...
Quest to redefine purpose.
She also reminds us about something
Yeah.
that I think we often forget as adults,
Okay.
which is the power of our childhood passions.
Oh, okay.
Like, what did you love doing as a kid?
Yeah.
Even if it seems completely unrelated
Yeah.
to your life now.
Okay.
Like, did you like to build things?
Mm-hmm.
Tell stories.
Okay.
Lose yourself in nature.
Okay.
Sasha suggests
Yeah.
that these early interests
Yeah.
hold clues
Okay.
to our natural inclinations.
This is giving me flashbacks of, like, forcing my poor little brother to
Oh, yeah.
be in the plays that I would write.
Amazing.
We're talking full on.
Yeah.
Like, the costumes, I would make tickets, like the whole
Wow, that's great.
thing.
There you go.
Yeah.
See that love of storytelling?
Yeah.
Of creating these worlds?
Yeah.
That's a powerful clue.
Yeah.
It might not translate directly into a career as a playwright, but it speaks volumes
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
what makes you tick,
Right.
about what brings you joy.
It's so easy,
I know.
right, to be like,
Yeah.
oh, that was just a silly little childhood thing I did. Like,
We outgrow that.
outgrown that.
Yeah.
But you're right. They
Like,
hold
they hold so much
insight.
insight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, what else have we
Right.
kind of brushed aside?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And here's another
Okay.
thing
Yeah.
that I think we often overlook
Okay.
in our quest for purpose.
Okay.
Something that Sasha really emphasizes as being crucial
Yeah.
is rest.
Okay. I am here for the rest conversation.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Sasha talks about
Yeah.
how our culture really glorifies
Oh, yeah.
constant productivity,
Ah,
this go, go, go mentality.
right.
But that often leads to burnout
Mm.
and actually prevents us from connecting with ourselves,
Totally.
from hearing that inner voice.
Right.
She actually quotes
Okay.
Shirzad Shamin,
Okay.
who says,
Yeah.
your highest performance comes from the brain that is calm, centered, focused, able to see possibilities and be creative.
That makes so much sense.
Right.
Like if we're always on, if we're always going,
Yeah.
there's no space.
Totally. There's no space for the aha moments.
The aha moments.
Right.
Yeah, you need those moments of quiet
Yeah.
and reflection.
Totally.
Yeah, and she even uses
Okay.
comedian Chris Rock
Okay.
as an example.
Oh, interesting.
So he's known for taking these like extended breaks between tours to
Right.
really recharge
Yeah.
and come up with fresh material.
Okay.
And so those periods of rest,
Yeah.
of stepping away,
Mm.
are actually when he's able
Yeah.
to tap into his creativity most fully.
It's not that we're
Uh,
trying to be lazy.
But it's really that idea of like
Mhm.
giving ourselves permission
Totally.
to step back.
Permission to just be.
To just be.
Yeah.
Yeah. To let our minds wander
Mm.
and to like, I don't know, make those connections.
Unexpected connections.
Yeah.
Totally.
It makes me think of that, like that quote about
Yeah.
rest is not idleness, right?
Mm.
And to lie sometimes on the grass under the trees on a summer's day, listening to the murmur of water or watching the clouds float by in the sky is by no means a waste of time.
I love that.
Right.
It's true.
Like sometimes we just need to.
Yeah, you got to create space
Yeah.
for those insights to emerge. And
Yeah.
sometimes that rest
Yeah.
might actually involve
Okay.
like trying something new.
Yeah.
Like something that you wouldn't normally associate with finding your purpose.
Like when Sasha was talking about
Right. Exactly.
like the Web3 boot camp.
Yeah.
And then she dabbled in reality TV.
Yeah.
And then she like
She was all over the place.
started a comedy class. Like it was
such a
way.
range of things.
Yeah.
But it speaks to this power
Yeah.
of exploration.
Right. Yeah.
Because while, the Web3 world like wasn't for her,
Yeah.
she found herself
Yeah.
like drawn back to comedy and art,
Okay.
which were passions
Yeah.
that she had in
Uh-huh.
childhood.
Oh, interesting.
And, they
Yeah.
felt natural, they felt nourishing.
Yeah.
It's like she says, this epiphany wasn't anything new, as these two themes have been present in my personal life from the beginning.
It's amazing how it all like circles back, right? It's
yeah,
like
all connects.
it's all connected.
Yeah.
These seemingly
Yeah.
disparate things of like
Yeah.
our childhood passions.
Yeah.
And then these moments of rest.
Yeah.
And then even like, back to the meaning that we find in our names.
Mm.
It's like they're all
They're all pieces of the same puzzle.
pieces of the same puzzle. Yeah.
Totally.
I love that.
And speaking of interconnectedness,
Okay.
Sasha brings up a concept
Yeah.
that I think ties all of this together
Okay.
beautifully,
Okay.
and that is ikigai.
Ikigai, yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard that term before.
Yeah.
But I'd love to like dive a little bit deeper
Okay.
into what that actually means.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's a Japanese concept
Okay.
that essentially translates to a reason for being.
Okay.
And it's often
Yeah.
represented visually as like a Venn diagram,
Okay.
where it's like, your passions,
Mm-hmm.
your skills,
Okay.
what the world needs,
Okay.
what you can be paid for, like all these
Ugh.
different things.
And they all intersect.
Yeah, and that sweet spot
Yeah.
where your passions and skills and the world's needs overlap.
Yeah.
That's like the
Yeah.
really powerful place to be.
So it's not just about doing what we love,
Yeah.
but it's like,
But how can that be of service
yeah,
to others?
how can it contribute to
Yeah,
something
yeah.
bigger than ourselves?
Totally.
I love that.
Yeah.
Purpose with a ripple effect. Wow.
Mm.
Okay, so we've
You know,
covered so much.
We've covered so much ground today.
From the power of like
Yeah.
these small, authentic actions
Yeah.
to like
Yep.
the meaning in our names,
Yeah.
the importance of rest,
Right.
reconnecting with our childhood passions, and now ikigai, like,
I know.
oh,
It's a lot to unpack.
where do we even begin
Right.
to actually, like, implement this stuff?
Well, and I think that's where,
Yeah,
it can feel overwhelming,
right.
right? But I think the thing to remember is
Yeah,
this is a journey,
totally.
not a race.
It's not about having it all figured out right this second. Like, if anything, I think what I'm taking away from Sasha's article is this idea of, like,
Yeah.
approaching it all with
Yeah.
more playfulness, more curiosity, less pressure.
Totally. A lot less pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So instead of
Thanks.
frantically searching for that
Yeah.
one big purpose,
Yeah.
maybe it's about
Maybe it's about shifting the perspective a little.
shifting our perspective
yeah.
and just, like,
Totally.
embracing the authenticity
Yeah.
every day.
In every single moment.
Yeah, rekindling those passions.
Yeah.
Giving ourselves space to rest.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
It's a continuous process
right.
of self-discovery.
And, I hope that this deep dive has given you
Yeah. I hope it's giving you some tools.
some tools.
Yeah. Fresh lens through which to view
Yeah.
this whole idea of purpose.
And now it's about
Now it's about taking action,
taking action.
putting those tools to work.
I love that.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
resonated with you most?
Yeah.
From Sasha's insights,
Yeah.
what's one small step you can take
Yeah.
today
Yeah.
to live
Yeah.
a little more purposefully?
Maybe it's
Yeah.
looking up the meaning of your name.
Yeah, totally.
Maybe it's revisiting
Yeah.
a hobby you loved.